Takes. We're gonna talk about some board game news today, like we always do every week. Welcome back to all my favorite guests and hosts and co-hosts. And I would love to know what y'all been up to this week because I've heard that there's a lot of stuff happening. Bonsai, how about you go first? What you been up to?
Uh, I've been actually speed running Quest Calendar 2022. I finally got my hands on a copy, like a physical copy. I ended up also paying for the I lost my place itch bundle or the digital copy. The digital copy. So I'm
Oh,
now
sweet!
finally caught up.
Yay!
It took me 3 days to go through the calendar to get to this point. But I'm very happy. The only problem I have is that I am a necromancer, but I cannot raise the dead. I am essentially a lich. This is the character. Why is it? If I'm gonna just only have lich powers, why say a necromancer if I can't raise the dead in circumstances? I don't know. Never mind. That's just continuity. That's just my issue.
Mm.
Don't mind me. I'm just salty.
I have mine actually. I'm not caught up right now, but I chose the Dragonborn Wizard, and I never
Oh.
choose like magic users, so I was really excited. And it's been going pretty good. I now need to catch up to you so we can compare middle of the year, see how the story's going for us. Because with those calendars, like we go off in different paths, we take different directions. Like even though we have the same pages every day, like everything gets kind of crazy. So it's really cool. I'm so glad you're on the quest calendar with me.
Yes.
Noir, what have you been up to this week? Anything fun? Anything interesting? Where are you right now?
I am I'm currently in LA. I've learned a lot about it. This place is huge, and you have to trek everywhere like you're a hobbit in the Middle Earth. But I love
LA is really cool. I've only been there a couple of times, but I love it there.
highly recommended,
Yeah.
and really delicious boba.
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool. Peter, what you been up to this week? I heard that you're also out of town.
I am. I'm down in Colorado for my nephew-in-law's graduation. So I am in Longmont, the same city Satine Phoenix lives in, but I haven't gotten to, I've never seen her here in this town. I see her everywhere else. Anyway, speaking of Satine, I got to do a movie shoot on Sunday, film shoot, short shoot for a prologue for the new Acroki series with Satine and Jameson Stone and David Baxter
Yeah.
and Susanna Bernice. So that was a lot of fun. And then on Wednesday, we launched our new series with the Session Zero. So GenCon's Mike Boozer was there, right, as Dungeon Master
Wow.
with all the players, all the actors for the next series. So we're all pumped. We're excited. We're
Yeah.
bouncing the walls.
I'm
Hopefully the doors
pumped.
aren't locked. How about you, Javion? What have you been up to?
Well, now that there's the conclusion of Actor I've been moving on to other more exciting. Well, not more exciting. I would say that
Careful there.
other also exciting things. I have a new couch. I got a new dresser. I'm just like renovating my place. I have a new place for all my Funko Pops to go into. I'm definitely going a little crazy with the changes in my home because I have so much free time. But I'm also listening to the new Kendrick Lamar album that just came out. It's so good.
It's
Uh,
so good.
I mean, I love Dan, which is the name of one of his albums, and that's definitely my favorite. I don't think this one tops it, but it's still really really good. So definitely check it out. Okay, so that's what we've been up to, but what have board games been up to? That's what we're gonna find out, and Noir's gonna tell us first. Noir, what have the fantasy role players been up to lately?
So D&D Beyond is discontinuing sales of 2.5 ebooks on May 17th. So yeah, only 4 years after releasing Mordecai's Tomes of Foes and 6 years after releasing Volo's Guide to Monsters, D&D will be ending official support for the titles on May 17th. On May 16th, Monsters of the Multiverse is set to release on D&D Beyond. Monsters of the Multiverse contains about 90% of the same content in terms of mechanics, monsters, races, etc., as the previous two source books, but they have cut out a lot of fluff and lore that contained in keeping with Wizards of the Coast's new policy on race and monster designs. So folks who already own both books on the 17th will still be able to access and play with the content in those books, but they'll no longer be available for purchase on the digital storefront at that time. So I think that this is something that I like the reason that it's happening. I think the change to race and monster design and lore is one that is healthy for the space. I'm a little, I don't know. I think it's a little weird. I like the fact that if you've already purchased the material, they can't edit it, which is something that I wasn't certain of before I reported this. But it's telling of the times, and I like why it's happening. It just kind of shows you what can happen when we're moving over to digital.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, I think that this is primarily going to affect people that have already purchased this stuff. I think the majority of this content, while it's going to be in the new Monsters of the Multiverse book, it's also widely available on the internet. And I think we're at a point now in the D&D community anyway, where with things like Drive Through RPG and DM's Guild and Kickstarter, we have so much content to pull from third-party creators. There's such a huge variety of much cheaper content out there if you do want more monsters, if you do want more, D&D settings and things that are getting retconned. But yeah, I think I agree with what you said with like I definitely like the reason things are changing because I mean, in the absence of a clear, sight of D&D 6e on the horizon, this is the kind of thing that we can be proud of D&D Beyond, or sorry, WotC. I guess both now.
I mean, they're one and the same at this point.
Yeah.
The idea that there are no evil races is just, that's something that I think is healthy, and it's going to lend to some really interesting storytelling beats when you can't just go, well, the orcs did the bad thing because they're orcs.
Yeah.
So does that mean no more demons? I'm just curious. Like, what
are there are demons in keeping with these changes. There are demons, and the demons do have the capacity to be good. Is essentially what it is. So I think in previous editions, it was if something comes from the infernal plane or if it comes from pandemonium or something, then they essentially have to be evil. Now they can be whatever they choose to be. There's nothing, I don't think personally, and this is just my personal take on it, there's nothing wrong with saying that, a demon in the Inferno, because of their environment, is more likely to, have more evil tendencies, as that's what they've been exposed to. But it does also offer the opportunity that there's a demon in the Inferno plane that sees what's going on and goes, I don't like this, and can choose to be good.
Yeah. Yep. I think Peter, you bring up a really good point that I didn't really think about before. But when it comes to demons and the lore that's already in most 5e campaigns, for me personally, I remember that the rules are just guidelines and not actual rules. So whenever WotC puts something out about things like this, I'm just like, well, in my campaign, demons aren't born to other demons. They are created for a singular purpose, and they are designed by an evil person. So there are lots of ways to rethink some of the things that we've already seen. And speaking of rethinking things that we've already seen and are very excited to see more of, Peter, would you tell us some GenCon news that we're all waiting to hear?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad to tell you all sorts of GenCon news this week. I think most importantly of all, event registration this Sunday, May 15th, noon Eastern time. If you got your wish list, if you hopefully you got your wish list in place, now you can find out how many games you get off your wish list. Or if you don't, like, maybe hurry up. Is it still possible to put the wish list in? I think so. And if you don't get any of the games that you asked for, you wanted, guess what? There's a lot more games. There's going to be lots of games at Gen Con this year. So And if and you can always make your own game. You can always just pull out a game at Gen Con and set it up on the floor somewhere until security tells you got to move it, you know.
I don't know if you guys have heard
Trust
of.
me, there'll be lots of games to play at Gen Con this year.
I don't know if you guys have heard of True Dungeon, but they weren't able to make it to Gen Con last year, but they did go to PAX, and I was at PAX last year, and I did True Dungeon. And now I get all these emails about True Dungeon, and that they're coming to Gen Con this year. So if any of y'all need to party up for True Dungeon, I've got my monk character that I saved from last time, and I'm ready to go.
Yes,
Ooh.
that's right. True Dungeon is coming back. We'll be at Gen Con this year. We also, another thing that's coming back this year is the Gen Con Discord server, community server for Gen Con. We'll be back online as we get closer to Gen Con. This is a good place to go log in and hang out with other people going to the show, game masters, other attendees, artists, creators, event organizers. Derek's on there. You know, we're on there, right? Isn't that what we use? Yeah, I think so. Sure. Yeah, we're all on the Discord. So come on into the Discord and see us there and do the other things. You guys use Discord, right? I'm not very keen. I'm not very hip on Discord. What do you guys do on Discord?
Mostly talk to you guys.
I mostly play games with my friends.
I was gonna say, I organize games to play with people. We schedule and dream about games that we don't have enough time to play. And it's really great for scheduling meetups. I know that one of the things that I used the Gen Con Discord for last time specifically was when people were telling us about where really cool merch is. That's where we would to find out how to link up with folks. And 3, really good food suggestions. So
nice.
Definitely recommend talking to all the people over in the Gen Con Discord.
All right, great. Well, excellent. See you there. The one other piece of news for Gen Con. So you may have noticed sometimes the cameras kind of cut these off, and you might not be able to tell. But a lot of us are wearing new Gen Con merch. That's right. So we've got some merch, and I have little backstories on a couple of the T-shirts that are here today. So hey, Bonsai, would you mind standing up so that I could tell the story about your Gen Con cool T-shirt? Here's the story. 10 years ago, one of our party wizards stumbled upon a rare duplicate person spell. Naturally, we assumed it would give us a huge advantage in battle, so we cast it, not reading the fine print. Oh, how often does that happen? The duplicates will be in the form of meeples, who will grow in a lovely garden. Once the spell is cast, the meeple will grow in 5 to 10 years. So Bonsai, watch out for that meeple. That meeple's coming. 5 to 10 years, you're gonna have a new meeple.
I mean, I hope maybe in a year I have an organic meeple that pops out of me later on, but that I digress. No. I mean, you know, I could wait also that time. That'd just be added more to the party.
Moving right along. Okay, so I have the Gen Con island map. Okay, so your journey has brought you into the world of Gen Con. What will you do first? Do you explore the tabletop gaming forest? Will you pick up some adventuring supplies at Merch Beach? How about you survey the entire island by visiting the exhibit plateau? Be warned though, you may pass close to Genevieve's domain, but don't worry, she's a kind dragon, but we recommend bringing a gift or something just to be polite. Where will your adventures take you? At Gen Con. All right. Back to you. And this, by the way, the merch is at Roller Crit. Roller Crit is our official licensee for merchandise crit. Anybody else have any favorite merchandise they want to plug that's coming off of Gen Con merchandise, Roller Crit merchandise?
You should show off Javion shirt because I love Javion shirt too.
Yeah, I got the
Javion. Yes. They didn't have a backstory for that other than, well, Gen Con, there's a whole backstory that's been going on for years.
Yeah, we wouldn't fit all of that, you know, extenuous lore in this episode anyway. You'll have to do your own research on that.
Yeah.
You were talking about the other merch that we were looking at. Bonsai, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was gonna say tote bags. They have really nice tote bags. Go get them tote bags. They have like one of the tote bags has this like sorry, don't me. They have the gelatinous cube, and can I get this in a stuffy maybe next year?
Oh
Please.
yeah.
I
Little
want this
fuzzy.
as a stuffy.
That
I love stuffies.
looks awesome. I would love to get the backpack that looks so sleek, because I love just like simplest, like minimalist looks with just like a hint of color, and this has like that kind of rainbow to it. But I also got a mouse pad that I've been using all year from last year, so I want to update mine to the new one. It looks really cool this year too.
So my favorite piece, and I'm going to take an aggressive stance on this, so I apologize in advance, is the fanny pack, because I'm tired of fanny packs being disrespected. I'm sick of people laughing at them, and this is a good looking one to bring back the look. So go ahead, pick up a GenCon fanny pack, and if somebody has something crazy to say, just glare at them.
I'm with you, Noir. I've been looking for a fanny pack. I've been going to like thrift stores and stuff,
It's
and I can't find one.
useful. It makes you feel like Batman. You got everything you need right on your waist.
Yes,
Yes,
it's
I
a
also-
portable dice pouch.
Fanny packs are also so useful, especially when you have lady pockets like me that don't hold anything. So you get
Ugh.
fanny pack and it has everything.
We need better lady pockets.
And there's, by the way, there's also a Christmas sweatshirt on the Roller Crit site too. So I actually got that. There's a picture floating around of Adrian Swartout and Dee Fenton and myself each wearing the GenCon Christmas sweatshirt. Now Jackie maybe is going to hit me up for that, so she can put it on the website. No.
No, here's my question: when are we gonna get the GenCon romper?
Yes, GenCon romper.
Yeah.
One of these days, if we just keep repeating GenCon romper,
Hashtag
at
GenCon romper.
GenCon, hashtag GenCon romper, please.
Help us build the perfect a con attire of our
You
dreams.
know what? I think I just found the ultimate GenCon merch that we need.
Oh yeah.
We need a Genevieve romper. Like with the little tail.
Yes.
Genevieve
Perfect
romper,
idea.
please.
Absolutely
I like
agree.
I love it.
Okay.
And of course, it has to have pockets. Sorry, that's it.
Yeah. I think pockets are something that are very helpful in a lot of situations, and I feel like there's not a lot of pocket representation out there. But speaking of representation, Asmodee just announced a new studio focused on accessibility, representing the disabled community and disabled player community. So like a lot of our news, we got these pieces of information from Dicebreaker and ICV2. Apparently, the creators of Catan and Pandemic and a whole host of other games that you probably already heard of are building a new studio with 3 flagship games, with the intention to adapt board games for players with cognitive disabilities that affect speech, social relation, memory, and other aspects that we all need in order to play the games that we love. Apparently, the focus is on making this a one of its kind studio. However, I did want to really quickly point out some of the studios that have already been working really hard to spread representation of the different kinds and find communities for disabled gamers out there. There's Limitless Heroics, which is a supplementary material for 5th edition for adding neurodivergence and characters with disability, mental illness into 5e games that we talked about earlier this year. There's Meeple Like Us, .co.uk, and then there's also ablegamers.org. All of these organizations have been working pretty hard already, and Asmodee is going to be joining in order to help more people feel like the games being made are going to be games that they can play with everyone else, feeling included like that. So they're going to be Access Plus is the name of this new studio, and it's going to be working in partnership with an external committee of scientific experts and researchers in the field, as well as relying on its own research department. So the 3 games that they're coming out with are actually not new ideas. They're just sort of redesigns of 3 titles from Asmodee that we have already. We've got Spot It, which you'll recognize as the family game about spotting matching pictures. We got another memory game, a matching game, Cortex, which is using a lot of memory skills and little memory mini games in order to build a brain. And we've got Timeline, which is a game about guessing years and putting the different inventions and events in order from left to right whenever they appear in the timeline of history. So these are all games that are getting updates with either thicker and easier to handle cards or rewritten rules, different difficulty options and rules for solo play. So I think this is great. I think it's a huge step for gaming in general because we can always use more accessible board gaming. So these 3 games are set to release in France, Belgium, and Canada later this year. Um, and a worldwide release, we're gonna have to wait until 2023 for that. But
Mhm.
good job to you, Asmodee. Can't wait to see Access Plus and beyond these 3 games, what more we're gonna see.
Yes, I'm all for more accessible games for everybody, especially like, hey, also promoting like disabled characters in games as well. The more the merrier, the easier that everyone can play at the table, especially if like they're either blind or they have mobility issues or anything like that. In terms of fine motor skills, that is just awesome, and I hope that more companies take a focus on letting everyone have an access to play their games.
Yeah, absolutely agree. So, yeah, definitely keep your eye out for the studio's releases coming up pretty soon. But we also have another game release that we wanted to cover for the headlines today. Bonsai, take it away.
Hey, folks. Hey, have you ever really, really liked Azul and all of those very intricate, beautiful puzzle-like games? Well, the designers from Azul and Downforce team up are making a brain-themed game called Miglida. I think that's how. Can somebody please correct me because I'm very bad at
Amygdala.
amygdala, because that is a part of your brain. I know that from science. Well, there's not really that much details about the game yet, but from what we understand, it is a 2 to 4 player game for 10 and up. Ranges maybe about 16 minutes of play. It is a board game that is like going ahead and exploring the brain, parts of the brain that handle emotions and emotional like responses. It's said to be very abstract, and so what it is just like exploring what makes people like depressed, what makes people angry, what brings people happiness. Each player will be in charge of these like segments and are attempting to manage the complicated process of the brain to give you a happy mental health, is from what my understanding is about the brain, especially for somebody with like, just from my own point of view, it would be nice to understand like what's going on as somebody who has depression, anxiety, like what chemicals make the brain go no. So I feel like this game will be very, very educational, and especially because I love the heck out of Azul. I will admit I have not played Downforce yet, so sorry, but I hear good things about it.
Very
So
good
I
game.
just can't wait to see. The box cover art is already so pretty. I love that ombre effect they have.
Yeah. This looks awesome. I definitely learn a lot from my board games.
I think maybe this could be a good base game, and you could have an expansion for psionic combat. Do you think that would fit in here? Some
Oh.
You always
no,
have
am I
such
going the
great
wrong?
ideas.
Am I going the wrong
People.
direction on this? Okay.
No,
sorry.
no. I think that's pretty cool. I
I've
think
always wanted to see a game like on psionic combat. I always thought it'd be really
yeah.
cool, like different parts of the brain and how you're infiltrating and blowing brains up.
You should make
Well,
your own board
I
game.
don't think you want to blow your brains up. That seems like a bad yes.
No, somebody else's brain. It's sonic blast.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of combat, we have a new reskin of a board game all about combating your opponents in a strategy sense. It's called a game called Point Salad. You might have heard of it. Is getting an Eevee themed version. Eevee, the famous Pokemon with several evolutions, is getting put onto the Point Salad board game. The cards are getting this new skin for Pokemon lovers. It's pretty cool. Currently, it looks like it's only going to be released in Japan. However, it's going to be soon. Well, it's actually available in Japan, but in Korean, in the Korean language. Yeah. So um, it looks really cool. I love Point Salad already. It's basically this really simple game about collecting cards, but you have to decide, like, do you want a bunch of salad ingredients, or do you want the cards that will tell you how to get points, because they rely on each other, like how many lettuce or how many cabbage do you have? If you have more, you get more points, etc. So this looks like they're not going to have the evolutions, all of them, unfortunately. A couple of them got cut because there's literally only 6 types of Point Salad cards available anyway. So it also looks like it might take a while for this to move over to a US version of the game, because AEG or another publisher would have to obtain a license to make a Pokemon version of Point Salad for that specific region. And right now, they only have the license in Japan. So unfortunately, we're just going to have to admire from afar. But congratulations to all our Japanese board gamers out there who are getting this really cool. Because
Yeah.
I might, I mean, I was planning on traveling next year anyway, and I haven't decided yet. But I would love to visit Japan, and I think this is something I would look out for if I
Yeah,
could.
so if we have some Japanese or South Korean viewers and want to get on the good side of Javion, hint hint cough cough, maybe like slide in Javion's DM and be like, hey, we got these, you want to make a deal, trade a game for a game? Just saying.
Please, thank you. Yeah, I'll have to like troll like through eBay or something to find it in the meantime. Okay, well, speaking of trails, we have another headline of another really cool game from Peter.
Hi. Yeah, I was thinking, I bet he's going to segue off that hiking in Japan story to talk about trails. So, if you're a fan of the game Parks, good for you. You're showing very excellent taste. If you haven't ever played the game Parks, I highly recommend it. And I know several of my co-hosts here are big Parks fans as well. I'm pretty sure Bonsai is. So there is a new game coming out in the Parks series. It's called Trails. It is a standalone game, so you don't need Parks to play it. But it's similar thematically, and I can't wait to see the artwork, because that was one of the best parts of Parks, is these beautiful pictures of parks. Like, I'm not talking about like the local city park, but like Yosemite and places like that. So in Trails, it's like Parks in that you're hiking through the park, hiking on the trails. But in Trails, you hike to a campsite and you hike back, and there's things that can happen at night in the campsite. That sounds fun. But you still got to manage all your gear. You've got to collect your acorns. You've got to earn wilderness badges, manage your water canteen, manage your gear. Do you have a tent, for example? Take photos, and at the end of the game, the player with the most collected badges that you earn from various things, plus your photos taken and bird sightings, wins the game. This game will be released on June 1st in retail in the US market. And thanks to ICV2 for reporting this. Thank you, Jeffrey Dom Sanchez, for alerting us to this exciting new release.
I'm getting pretty strong like Girl Scout, Boy Scout vibes. Like, I never got to do that kind of thing, and I've always been fascinated, like intrigued by
The artwork
collecting
is so
badges
pretty.
and stuff like that. It does, yeah. It's so pretty.
Javion, if you want to hang out one of these weekends, I got
Yeah.
the game. We should
You do?
meet up. Yeah, I do. I have
Sweet.
yes. But yeah. Also,
Yeah.
If you want to hang out with me some weekend, we can actually go hiking too.
That's right. Oh, that'd be fun.
We can go hiking and play Parks at the same time.
Oh, on an actual hike.
There you go.
In an actual
Play Parks in the park.
Yeah, exactly.
Parks in the park.
I hike real slow though, but we still get there in the end.
Yeah. Board games always bringing people together. Speaking of which, Noir, why don't you take us into our next headline?
All right. So Wizards of the Coast has revealed new deets on the Magic the Gathering universe beyond Warhammer 40K. This is exciting. Wizards of the Coast has revealed that the collaboration with Warhammer in 2021 is now going to consist of 4 commander decks and 3 secret layer drop sets. So the 4 commander decks are as follows: the Tyranid Swarm, which is green, blue, and red; Forces of the Imperium, white, blue, and black; Necron Dynasties, mono black; and Ruinous Powers, which is blue, black, and red. Additionally, for the first time ever, these commander decks are also going to be available in collector's editions as well. I'm already a control player, so Forces of the Imperium sounds right up my alley with white, blue, and black. Just making sure nobody at the table gets to have fun but me. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see how this crossover goes. The D&D one, I think, was rather successful, and I'm super excited about 40K because their lore is just fantastic. But I don't know. I feel like it's easier to get into a card game than it is a war game where you have to get a bunch of figures in order to play. So I think this is going to bring over a lot of new excitement into the realm of 40K, especially when people see just how brutal and hardcore the lore in this setting is. So very excited to see these commander decks at work. And I'm very excited to see the difference in the collector's edition as well. This is the first time they're doing it, so I want to know. I want to know what that's going to include.
Gold, always collector's items. Gold for the Emperor. Gold.
Yeah, that's definitely one thing I know about Warhammer is that they love their gold, their gilding, all of that. I'm also really excited for the new Magic Universes Beyond Secret Lair that they just revealed. They got Street Fighter and Fortnite, as well as the Tales of Middle Earth and Warhammer 40K. So I mean, it's not just like 40K. I mean,
Yeah,
Magic this year is doing all the collabs.
I mean, there's some franchises I feel like fit really well. Like Warhammer to me is just a natural fit. Street Fighter, I mean, I have to see it. But in pop culture, just in general, we're really riding this multiverse wave. So all the rules are out the window at this point. Anything can partner up with anything, and I think we're gonna dig it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Did you not read fan fiction when you were younger? This has already been established. Everything can be with anything if you write it enough.
Do not speak to me of Super Hulock. I was there when it was written.
Oh man, I'm very excited for this. I'm sure we're gonna see some really cool stuff coming up pretty soon anyway. But yeah, well, that's gonna do it for our headlines today. We've had some really, really cool stuff get announced, but now I think we've been on a really cool track with lots and lots of inclusivity and border crossing and barrier breaking down. And who better to tell us about a bundle doing just that than our bundle boss? It's Bonsai.
It's
Bonsai.
a me.
What have you brought us from the boss room?
Okay, let me go ahead and put my boss glasses on. Give me a second. All right. So what we're going to be talking today with the bundle boss here. I don't know if you noticed in America, we're having a little bit of issues if you happen to be of a female persuasion and want rights over female persuasion things, but also it goes beyond that, mostly private security. But I digress. I will not go on to that rant. In any case, other people are like, no, thank you. I think we should go ahead and help people in those, especially those areas that think that they have the right to dictate whether or not we get to choose what we want to do with our bodies. So in that, Chase Carter from Dicebreakers just reported this about the RPGs for Reproductive Justice Bundle on the Drive-Thru RPG. So if you guys want to go ahead and check that out, it's a nearly 60 tabletop games to fundraise for abortion access. Of course, this is going to be mostly hurting those who just, it's not going to stop it. These laws won't stop abortions from happening. They're just going to make it so people who can't necessarily afford going around the alternate paths go to unsafe, harmful ways. And also, hey, there's a difference with a lot. Well, I digress. Never mind. But in any case, the collection is valued about 582. More games are being added as we speak. For like as $25, or if you would like, you can also donate more. All sales of the bundles will be fully donated to the National Network of Abortion Funds. It is an organization based in the US that provides structure, resources, logistical aid, and independent funds so they can better help people in their regions that need help. And also, hey, if you're like, oh my God, this is way too much fire hose to be drinking from, don't worry. One of a very kind Reddit user named Dollface Killin, I'm gonna say is how they pronounce it, their name, went through and combed through the copies of what is being offered in this bundle and gave a brief description of what is to offer. And I really hope people will go to this, because there is going to be a lot of folks who will be needing this aid coming up soon.
Yeah. And just a reminder for everybody out there, this isn't just a female or women's issue. It's a reproductive rights issue for our queer friends from the entire spectrum. We would really love everybody, really love your support. And you can, oh my gosh, $25. What a deal. Seriously, when we show bundles, when we show like deals like this, they're very not very often huge discounts like this. 96% off of a huge like $600 value. It's really, really worth it, you guys. Definitely check out the link that we put in chat. Okay, thank you so much, Bonsai. What a wonderful bundle. You are truly the bundle boss today. All right, so now we have our final segment and our very, very exciting crowdfund court. I don't have a gavel on me. Maybe Noir can help me out and we can figure out how to do the sound effects together. But we have
It's
so many. Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, we have exciting Kickstarters, and we're gonna kick it right on back to Bonsai for the very first presentation of the court. What have you brought the King's Court today, Bonsai?
Hello, court members. For us, you are perusing today. If you like the squishities and the plushities, I have the bundle for you. It is the Cobalt Plushies. They're basically cobalts of, like, basically you can get a rainbow collection of them. They come in, like I said, red, orange, green, blue, indigo. Yes, those are the rainbow colors. It's 6 different cobalt plushies: a red wizard, a blue warrior, an orange ranger, a green rogue, a purple bard, and a yellow sorcerer. They are all very cute, very sweet looking, and I believe because they hit their goal, their new cobalts will actually be interchangeable with their items and will have magnets in them. So boop boop. So you can change as is if you want your like warrior not to be blue and a different color. You will have the changing options once you buy them. I like plushies. I like soft squishy things. So yes. Yes, all the soft squishy things. So if you want to get your hands on these sweet, sweet plushies, Cobalt Plushies for you.
All right. Well, I agree. I think I think everybody loves plushies. This is definitely a cool Kickstarter. Let's move on to Noir, who has a couple of really exciting Kickstarters for the court today as well.
Yes, today I bring you Dumpster Fire Party. It's a lot more fun than it sounds, I promise. Dumpster Fire Party is a storytelling game based on the award-winning and critically acclaimed Dumpster Fire Toys by 100% Soft, where you and your friends are going to share just absurd, embarrassing, or hilarious stories that make us want to chuck our whole life into a dumpster fire instead of place. So this is really cool because there are awards that you can give out for people's stories, like the "How Are You Still Alive" award and things like of that nature. So while people are telling their stories, you can put little emojis on the dumpster, and they're magnetic, so they stick over to them. And while you're listening to the stories, you write your favorite moments in the stories, and then you throw them into the dumpster fire. And then you can read what everybody enjoyed most about your stories. It's just a fun storytelling game all the way around, and these dumpsters are really cute. And the fire in the dumpster it was really cool looking. They come in a few different colors, and there is a Kickstarter exclusive green dumpster fire that you can check out. So yeah, a cute toy, dumpster fire, and really good stories. I think this is one that you want to check out. Again, this Kickstarter ends on the 20th of this month, so please check that out, show some support, and tell your dumpster fire of the story at your dumpster fire party.
Actually, before you move on to your other Kickstarter, I just wanted to say I've been to Mox Boarding House recently, and they have a dumpster fire plush as well as the toy that's on Kickstarter. So if you want
Also,
a plush
there is a
version of it,
plushie.
yeah, it's really really cute. If you want like a squishy version. What other Kickstarter have you for us today?
Oh, if you're asking me, I have another one.
Oh yes.
Oh, okay. Well, what I have for us is Kalimba, the role playing game. It's an innovative African inspired tabletop RPG that's going to allow you to become the legend of Aye. This is a very intricate system with a lot of different professions that you can choose, if that's the way you want to go about your adventuring, or you can just spend your time in the world mastering your trade and telling your story that way. And the most interesting part, to me at least, other than the fantastic art, the wonderful setting, is that this is a D6 only system. So it looks very intuitive while still having a lot of options and a lot of different ways to play. I know that I am super excited for anything that's outside of the European fantasy type realm. I've played in it like all my life, and I'm very interested in kind of getting into the fantasy elements of other cultures. And this one obviously hits close to home, so I kind of wanna tell some stories here and see who I become in the world of IA.
Very cool. Awesome. Okay. Well, my Kickstarter is actually a little similar. This is a expansion, not expansion. This is a expanded idea on the Tiny Epic saga. So everybody, I don't know if you've played any of the Tiny Epic games, but the newest addition that came to Kickstarter recently is Tiny Epic Vikings. Tiny Epic Vikings is a new Tiny Epic game all about Vikings. The god's fury is rising, so you can sail to new lands, conquer, settle, and defend, all for their favor. It's a 1 to 4 player game that plays in about 45 to 60 minutes. It's all about drafting and area control. You collect the different Viking cards that represent the leaders of your Viking clans, and you go about sailing around, pillaging, and competing for the favor of the Norse gods. Depending on which Vikings you choose, you'll either pick the leaders for the day, the builders, the engineers, the sailors, whatever you need in order to bring your clan victory and the ultimate favor. You can also get the mini expansion, the Shamans mini expansion, which allows you to bring even more powerful new leaders to your clan, or the Tiny Epics Vikings Ragnarok expansion, or the sort of sequel expansion, kind of second box, where you will have to sharpen your axes and your skill as you explore new islands and experience firsthand the battle of the giants, Jotun, versus the gods and the cunning of the Valkyries. This is a very popular, probably one of the most popular Kickstarters that's out right now. Gameland Games has been making Tiny Epic games for a very long time. It's all about making huge, huge content in a tiny little box. And they've made a lot of other Tiny Epic games similar to this one, like Tiny Epic Pirates, but this is the first foray into the Viking realm. Who knows where they'll go next? If you want to check out some of the gameplay or some of the cards early, You can see on the Kickstarter or on the Gameland website or even the Gameland Twitch channel of gameplay videos. There's tons of reviews out there already as well. This game has gotten a lot of buzz recently, and there's a lot of different levels that you can back for the Kickstarter with all the expanded content, reinforced boxes, and things like that. You can get the deluxe game mat. You can get the deluxe bundle, which comes with the deluxe edition of both the Tiny Epic Vikings game and Ragnarok, the expansion. You can get the premium print and play version, or you could just go for the base game. There's lots of different ways to pick up some Viking content, and the Kickstarter ends in 12 days on May 26th. So you still have plenty of time to jump on the ship. All right. And then for our final Kickstarter presentation, Peter.
Hello, thank you, Javion. So I was very excited to find this Kickstarter before it ends, which is in 17 hours. So if you're interested in what I'm about to tell you, don't delay. You want to jump on this right away. It's called Orient Canal. Okay, so this is based on a canal that was built in the 1800s that connects the Oder and the Elbe rivers in Germany and Poland. And this is it's on GameFound, like I said. This is by Uwe Rosenberg. So I have gone on about Uwe Rosenberg many times, and I think at least a couple times on this show. He's one of my favorite game designers in all of tabletop. He designed Le Havre, Agricola, A Feast for Odin, Caverna, what else? Fields of Arles, which is a great, by the way, a two-player optimized worker placement game, which is fun. So he is always worth checking out. It's excellent work. So this game is for 1 or 2 players, so that makes me think of like Fields of Arles, something that is optimized for my wife and I to play. That sounds great. It features a resource wheel, and it features a card deck which can be infinitely expanded. So the expansions, I think, primarily add more cards to the deck. So what you're doing in this game, which is sort of described as a successor to Le Havre, which was about developing a town, a port city. You're developing this industrial area that exists on both sides of the canal. And so you're raising paths, building roads, laying tracks, building industry, and excavating the canal as you go. So I backed it. I mean, what more could I say? I suggest if you like games that are probably a bit more on the meatier side, with a lot of strategy, a lot of good decision making, I think this one looks very promising.
Peter, can you say the name of this game one more time for me? I don't think I caught it the first time.
Oranienburger Canal.
Okay, very cool.
You say it 5 times fast.
I said it with confidence, as if that is the way to pronounce it, because that's the TableTakes way. I probably didn't get it right. I apologize if I didn't. So, but yeah, the canal is, you can find it on the map. It's in the Brandenburg region. It's near Berlin.
Very, very cool. Yeah, Uwe Rosenberg never fails to well, I was gonna say disappoint. That's not the saying. It's never fails to impress. That's the right one.
And
okay.
I think Marcus posted the correct spelling in chat. So if we didn't pronounce it right, you can leak there and at least get the correct game.
Yeah. We have someone in chat said, I love Caverna, but it's hard to find people who want to spend the time to play. Isn't that always the case with Euro games? It's unfortunate. That's why you got to come to GenCon.
Yeah.
Filled with people who want to play Euro games. Oh, yeah. Why don't you head on over to Discord? Maybe you'll find some other players who are looking for more additions to their table.
Can you play Caverna on Discord?
You can play it over Tabletop Simulator.
Tabletop Simulator, that's
yeah.
what I say.
Yeah, and there's a lot of really cool resources out there for virtual tabletop board gaming as well. My favorite, Board Game Arena, has a lot of really cool Euro games available to play. I believe Agricola is on that list. Castles of Burgundy. Yeah, Cranston, I am always down if you want to play some Caverna. I love me some dwarves. All right. Well, I do think that this is just about going to do it for the crowdfund court. I'm gonna do my best gavel sound. I hope it's not too loud. I'll have to get a real gavel or something. But thank you all for all of the wonderful Kickstarters and headlines today. We've had a lot of fun telling you about the tabletop news, but don't go anywhere because we still got a whole mess of more shows, more tabletop board gaming for your viewing entertainment. Coming up today at 3:30 p.m., we still have our most exciting episode yet. It's the finale of TableTakes Game Night Everyday Heroes episodes. The series of Everyday Heroes brought to us by Evil Genius Games. And we are so excited for the finale. Super Dylan's going to be there. I believe Critical Misses is going to be there, as me and Noir and Peter were all going to be playing the final episode. We're so excited. Oh, man, are we going to finally kill the God King, Marcus?
Yeah, we're gonna take them out.
I'm gonna put them in the dirt. I can't wait. We're gonna do it. Okay, and then at 5 p.m., stick around because we are gonna have some joyful gaming around Sarah's table. That's right. Game Master Sarah Moore is gonna be playing Rebel Scum with puppets. Yay! So exciting. I love all of the weird ways that Sarah's table
Everything's
finds
better
to
with
play
puppets.
to play RPGs. All right, and then on Sunday, from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. PST, we've got Nerd Butchery Adventures. Shout out to Dwarven Forge. We've got D&D. We got cosplay. What more could you ask for your Sunday afternoon? All right. So, just a rundown of the schedule for GenCon TV. We've got board games with the Brothers Murph every Monday, and this Monday at 4 p.m., join brothers Nick and Mike as they play Legendary Marvel by Upper Deck. We've already seen a couple of Upper Deck versions from them, and if you want to see some more of that content, we're going to be seeing some Marvel content. You guys, I'm sure you've seen the new Marvel movie. I don't know what you thought about it. I thought it was kind of cool. A lot of people didn't, but no shortage of Marvel content around. On Tuesdays, we've got at 4 p.m. Out of Character with Mark Tassin. This week's special guest, Seth Skorkowski. And at 5 p.m. right after, we got Kathy Paints. Join Kathy Wappel for painting tips, tricks, and fun. Always a good time. On Wednesdays, we've got the first episode, not the session 0, but the first episode of Actoroki Series 3. Peter, can you remind us what we're going to be seeing on Wednesday?
Well, it's hard to know, JVR. It's gonna be the first episode of a new campaign. But Mike Boozer, that Mike Boozer will be the dungeon master, and we will have Lexi the First and Bryce Bebop and Rennie Aracto and Megan Karami Nasser as the players, and Tanil Lovett doing live illustrations on stream. Watch her draw like a mad woman, illustrating the game as they go. Yes, Actoroki, I highly recommend it.
I really hope we get to hear some more voice acting from the marvelous Marcus Mays, because
he is. I'm the director, so I can make that happen, and he is on my radar.
He's on my wish list, so I really want to hear it.
That's right.
All right, and then on Thursdays at 10 a.m., we've got the new show Blood on the Clock Tower. Join us for a social deduction bluffing game, 5 to 20 players. So many people can play. You're playing on teams of good and evil, overseen by a storyteller who conducts the action and makes crucial decisions. It's a very cool bluffing game, and I've always wanted to play it myself, so I will definitely be tuning in to see how it's done. It's going to be hosted by Ben Burns. So exciting. All right. And then right after that, at 4 p.m., we've got Roll with Rem Alternus. Interviews with the creators, developers, and Shadowrun. Ooh. All right. And of course, every Friday, don't forget to join us here at 2 p.m. for TableTakes and TableTakes Game Night, as well as Sarah's Table right after. Thank you to everyone who tuned in today for your news. And thank you to all of the lovely hosts tuning in or calling in from different parts of the country. We appreciate your dedicated effort to tabletop gaming news. And remember, if you miss any of our programming, you can still check out the VODs video on demand here on Twitch or on YouTube 24 hours later. So you never have to miss an episode. Follow GenCon TV here for more of the best 4 days in gaming all year long. Follow us on Discord if you want to connect with other gamers and make sure you don't miss out on any of the tabletop gaming news. And yeah, we'll see you in about 30 minutes here for the last episode of Game Nights Everyday Heroes.